I did want to have this discussion, and I wanted to make sure it was coming off of a good game before we had it. And DeAndre Swift cooperated, T-Foss.
He did.
Had a very good game on Sunday in the win over the Bears. Where are we at with DeAndre Swift right now? Because I think there was a frustration level that's been kicking in with Lions fans about his health and about his availability and all that kind of stuff. So I was curious about it. And look, even I hate money, as I've been told, right?
No, that's me. I hate money.
I'm sorry, you hate money, I've been told. Even I, who usually has a gut feeling of which way he wants to go with things, Swift has one more year left on his rookie deal. Next year, second-round pick, so he doesn't get a fifth year. It's a very, very cheap number, certainly given what his ceiling is. So, T-Foss, I guess the question to you is, where are we at with DeAndre Swift right now?
I'm still all in on him.
Okay.
Because when the dude is on the field, this dude is a playmaker. He can run that football. He's fast. He's got that little funky wiggles stuff. I'm still going to gamble on him, even though he's getting the ball 5 times a game. But he's getting a little bit more now.
Right, which is easy to say when you still got another year in the bank. Because where I am with it is I will let it play out. And you guys know how I roll with this. Usually I would start those discussions now with him, with his people. And by now I mean, in a month when the season ends. And I would talk about that extension to see where it is. But Terry, I'm prepared to keep going to the crap table with DeAndre Swift because I will let it play out. Mm-hmm. And the reason I like to do that, if you do it in advance, you get a little discount to market. You know what I'm saying? You get a little,
sure.
You get a little discount right there. But I'm not prepared to commit, and I need more data. Is that fair?
That is fair. I think we still are sort of in the same neighborhood about him. I just see so much potential with him. I think he's very talented. And one thing I always say about the NFL, there's a lot of solid and good competitive ball players, but there's not that many playmakers. And DeAndre Swift is a guy that can be a playmaker. Jamal Williams cannot be. DeAndre Swift can be. So I'm willing to hang with him a little bit longer, maybe stick my neck on the line. If it doesn't work out, then I smack myself. But my fear is that he will go somewhere else and become a borderline superstar, and then we're left here with our pants hanging down.
What do you got on it, Sanfilano? You're a legend killer.
I mean, obviously, coming into the season, nobody was higher on DeAndre Swift than I was. But my issue with DeAndre Swift, and I'm kind of where Neil's at, where I just want to let it play out, is that he's played 13 games this season. He has only carried the ball more than 10 times in 3 of those games. Obviously, he's coming off of one of his best games of the year against Chicago, where he had that big touchdown run, that big 3rd and 18 run, and those are the things that he is capable of. But what he's not capable of is being that every down back, or even being a steady RB2. He's just one of those guys that I think is going to make plays. He might be a guy that catches as many passes as he gets carries someday, and that's, to me, is not what I expected DeAndre Swift to be. I predicted that a Lions running back would have the best season by a Lions running back since Barry Sanders, but I didn't think it would be Jamal. I didn't think it would be Jamal Williams. I thought it would be DeAndre Swift, and he's just kind of been always what he's always been. Often injured, not very durable, can't be the every down back, and that concerns me. But I am willing to let it play out for one more year.
And look, that's where I am with it too. It's just for me, and there's still a lot of Swift negativity in the chat thread, right? He runs out of bounds too easy.
And it should be.
Soft
I
runner.
understand that. I'm just saying, for me, I see potential in this guy, and I'm willing to milk it for as long as I can until it's not there anymore.
Right, and so it is. And here's what I'm against, though. And Gromit0237 says, a dime a dozen. Swift's players, running backs with Swift ceiling are not a dime a dozen. Is that a fair compromise
that's fair.
Or no?
That's fair.
Because I feel like it is. Because he has that's what's sexy about it. He has such a high ceiling that for me, I'm intrigued, man. But he does have to stay healthy at some point.
Now, that's true. Plus, the thing that we don't know is the limited carries he was getting. Is that just a Dan Campbell thing, or is that a Swift thing? I don't know the answer to that.
Trying to avoid him getting hurt. That's what I think, at least, is because they notice every time they give him the bulk lion's share of carries, he does end up missing a couple weeks. So in my mind, that's what they were doing. They were trying to use him sparingly, but now they need him. You know, like you said, Terry, he is a playmaker, so they need to put him in there as much as they can. And there's no, what are they saving him for now? So
Dave Schultz on WoodwardSports.com chat thread said he wants the Aaron Rodgers hate segment to be a permanent part of the show every day for the rest of existence. So glad to see that people like it. We're going to revisit it tomorrow, and I know that, you know, as we talked about it, I know more popped in people's heads. Sam Flannel said he came up with a good one.
Did.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to share it because I think a lot of people will agree with me. That's my teaser.
That's your teaser. I like it, but it's just something that, you know, because you do have to make a decision. And it's relevant, Terry, and here's why. Here's why the Swift discussion is relevant. And we'll do this, too. When the season does come to an end, be that next week, be it after the playoffs, whenever, we will do an all-encompassing. I'll take a look in the lay of the land. I 100% will. It's just for me, because you have to decide what you're going to do, Terry, with Jamal Williams, because he is a free agent. The time is now with him. He's going to have a 1,000-yard season, albeit in 17 games instead of 16, but in a 17-game season instead of a 16-game season. But that's going to figure into it, Terry. When you decide what you're going to do with Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift enters in that thought process.
He is, but, you know, you need two running backs, really. You know, they can be thunder and lightning or whatever you want to call them, but you need two functioning running backs for the NFL. In today's NFL, that's just the way it is. So you need them both, or you need Williams and somebody else, or Swift and somebody else. But you know, it's such a fluid situation with the Lions. I mean, 3 weeks ago, I was willing to let Jamal Williams go. I said, you can get somebody with that production, you know, you'll like this for a cheaper price. The reason I'm not willing to let Swift go is because he can do so many things when he's healthy. He's got speed. He's got, you know, he's elusive. He can be very productive. He's a guy that if I had to trust somebody to get 100 yards in a rush in a game, it would be Swift over Jamal Williams.
Which I agree with that.
So
I'm just saying, keep an eye on it, guys. That's all.
And in April, I'll probably change my mind, but we'll see.
It helps that he's coming off of one of his best games of the season, where he was obviously impactful, and you saw what he could bring to the team. I just worry, like I said earlier, he also had a 5-game stretch this season where he had 23 carries for 61 yards in 5 games. That's a hell of a floor, if you ask me. And he's only had 100 yards once this year. So the DeAndre Swift conundrum, it's still a conundrum. We'll see what he does next year, but I'm not going to put as much blind faith in him next year as I did coming into this year. That's for damn sure. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and then there's a couple of things that I want to get to. Wee Woo Man says, at Swift's 4th-year salary, which I believe is right just under $2 million. I don't have it. I didn't pull it up right in front of me, but I believe that's what the number is. I want him back for what he will want in year 5. No, thank you. So Neil, what amount would you extend him for in this offseason? And I wouldn't. Right now, I wouldn't. I want more data. I want another season to play out. And again, I know that's out of character because I usually have the mind made up as to where I'll go, because I have a number for Jamal Williams that I will not bridge. And I gather that a lot of people here would. And it's just the nature of the position, given the season. Was it a special season? I know your number.
I wouldn't go there either.
No?
What's your number?
5.5.
That's fair.
Not going above it.
Probably not, yeah.
I mean, he's on a $3 million a year deal right now. I'm sorry, guys. I wouldn't, which I know is going to be blasphemous. I went around the room like you got Stick back there telling me you'd give him $7.5 million a year. No.
No, I wouldn't go that high. I'd probably go to 6, but
See, even I think that's even too. Remember, it's a special. What he does is a specialized position.
Yeah, he's the goal line guy, big back.
Short yardage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't go there, man. I just wouldn't. Brandon Cat Swift has always heard the Lions decided for the first month of the season he can't get more than 15 carries per game, and that's probably accurate. I mean, you know, like it's proven out. That's about what his workload rate is.
Actual.
But the other thing that we need to throw in about Swift is what is the mentality of the coaching staff for next season? Are they willing to say, okay, we're going to let him go. We're going to ride with this man. He's going to get the bulk load of the carries, and we're going to live and die with DeAndre Swift? Or is it still going to pamper him a little bit, still want to bring him along? If that's the case, then we got to part ways.